The Gupta family-owned Oakbay Investments has confirmed that its staff members have sent an open letter to major South African banks pleading for the company's bank accounts to remain open. The impassioned letter is addressed to the CEOs of ABSA, FNB, Nedbank and Standard Bank. It describes the impact the job cuts would have on the families of staff members. Oakbay's auditor, KPMG, the top four banks and Oakbay's JSC sponsor, Sasfin Capital, all cut ties with the Guptas in March. Let's go live now to our reporter, Aldrin Sampier. He's going to bring us the latest because there's a dramatic turn of events. The meeting between employees of Oakbay subsidiaries and the ANC Youth League has been called off. The Youth League president, Colin Maine, was forced to abandon the meeting after some employees refused to be addressed by him. The meeting would have come after the letter was purportedly written by employees calling on banks to reopen the Oakbay accounts. Let's go live to Aldrin and bring you the very latest now. Aldrin, just give us a sense of what's happening right now.
Well, good evening, Vavakshni. Yes, that meeting that was scheduled to take place between Oakbay employees as well as the ANC Youth League has been called off. It has been abandoned. Tell you there was that the back and forth here outside the ANN7 studios as well as the New Age office and the Sahara. You would know that Sahara is one of the companies owned by the Gupta family. So the meeting was expected to take place with all those employees of the three different subsidiaries of Oakbay. The meeting was then taken all the way to Sahara. The employees of TNA, the New Age, as well as ANN7 were then chucked out of that meeting, and they started hurling insults against Colin Maine and also booing him. And just take a listen to the interview that I had earlier on with Colin Maine about that meeting that had to be canned. Why have you guys decided to come and have this meeting?
We have got an invitation from employees. They have written a letter to the Youth League. Now, when we got here, we find that the staff are divided. We've then decided that we told them that they need to unite. We can't address divided staff. So that's basically why we came here, because there's a letter inviting us to come here.
Do you know some of the concerns raised in that letter and the origins of that letter? Because some of the news that we're getting from some of these employees is that they didn't send off that letter. They didn't sign off on that letter.
So when we came here, we met with the management. So the impression we got is that the staff is divided, and indeed there was no meeting to consult staff to write that letter, to write that to us. So we have not invited us. As you could see, there are two groups. So we have decided to abandon the meeting so that the staff themselves unite themselves before we can talk to them. Because that letter is not only addressed to the Youth League, it's addressed to Parliament, banks and all of that. But the context of the letter is that people are not sure about their future, given the situation in this company.
Do you then acknowledge that the employees of the subsidiaries of Oakbay did not sign off on that letter?
That letter, we met with the person who wrote that letter. Two people who wrote the letter. They did say that they had a consultation, but they did appreciate that they did not talk to everybody in the staff. But with the letter coming to us, we can't ask, we couldn't ask, we could not ask who wrote the letter, what's their mandate. So that's why we're here.
And your message to these employees of ANN7 as well as the New Age, and you can hear in the background some of the concerns that they raised. Where was the ANC Youth League when they were facing these struggles?
Why are you fighting for India? Why are you fighting for black people and fighting also for India?
As I said,
where are you?
We'll come back. We'll come back to the workers and talk to them.
Are you still willing to meet with these employees of Oakbay subsidiaries?
When we are invited, we'll come back as the Youth League.
Children, workers say they were not part of the open letter written to major South African banks.
The issues they're raised by the different members or employees.
Apologies there, Aldrin. I was just saying that workers say they were not part of that open letter written to the major banks. Please tell us more about that.
Well, listen, we got news of this letter earlier on this afternoon, and it was doing the rounds. It started trending on Twitter as well. The letter was addressed to the different bank CEOs. These are the banks that have closed down the accounts of Oakbay. And in the letter, it is purported that the letter is written or signed off by all employees of the subsidiaries of Oakbay, which includes the New Age as well as ANN7 and Sahara. Well, while we spoke to some of these employees, they say they did not sign off on that letter. They were not consulted, and they've then decided to have a word with the author of the letter and asked him to retract the letter that he sent and send out an apology. That apology was expected to be out around about 5 p.m. It didn't happen, so probably another meeting will be taking place. And as it indicated in that interview as well with the ANC Youth League, is that they are still willing to meet with the ANN7 employees as well as the New Age employees. And you know, the concerns raised by these employees as well, as you could remember that COSATU once rated the New Age as well as ANN7 as one of the worst employees in the country.
Aldrin, just for the benefit of our viewers, how did we arrive at this point in the Oakbay Bank saga? Just recap it for us very briefly.
I guess the hashtag state capture spells it all out. And remember when issues around state capture came to the fore, started trending, and there were accusations that the Gupta family were offering ministerial posts to politicians. One of those people is the Deputy Minister of Finance, SABC Jonas. Remember that he also issued a statement on camera confirming that he had a meeting with the Gupta brothers and they'd offered him the ministerial post to be the Minister of Finance. There was a fallout between the Gupta family as well as the ANC. I remember having an interview with the Gupta Mantashe, the Secretary General of the ANC, where he said that basically the Gupta family is showing the ANC, and this is verbatim, where he said the ANC is showing the ANC the middle finger, and it has just gone downwards. It's just been a downward spiral. KPMG, the auditing firm, was one of the first financial institutions to distance themselves from Oakbay, which is Gupta family's investment arm, and we also had different banks that also came to the fore. And there was an interview that the CEO of Oakbay has had with different media houses, stating that they are in a dire situation, saying that the 7,500 employees of Oakbay subsidiaries will suffer if these banks do not open these accounts.
Political reporter Aldrin Sampier coming to us live from outside one of the affected Gupta companies in Midrand. Eskom has reiterated